Mashley Comedy presents
Funny Girls Guide,
your weekly podcast on how to live your life shamelessly with a laugh. I'm one of your hosts, Ashley Ella Park, joined with the lovely
Mandy Heintzelman Smith.
And we are extra funny today because we have comedian and actress Nacya Marreiro with us today.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, and Portugal's greatest export. I forgot to mention that.
Portugal's greatest export. It's true. So I'm following you on Instagram and I was like, I saw your pictures of Portugal. I'm like, are you homesick?
Yes,
are you homesick?
I'm so homesick. I miss the ocean and the food.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The lake's not doing it for you?
No, I
Our
miss
moldy lake.
Our moldy lake?
There's something with salty water.
I know.
And
I do.
it makes like your skin, I don't know. I feel so good when I take a shower. When I go for a swim in the ocean, I just feel refreshed, re-energized.
It's a whole new life.
Yeah.
There's nothing like a no shower happy hour after you've gone in the ocean.
I know.
Like your hair looks good.
Yeah.
Your
Everything
skin
looks
looks
good.
good. Wait, take us to Portugal with you. Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, we have to go. So this is a funny story also. We followed you on our Mashley Comedy account, and then I followed your Instagram, and then I thought one day, I was like, we got to get Nacya on here. She's hilarious. She's like amazing. We got to do
Thank
it.
you.
And this bitch had already messaged you, slid into those DMs, and was like, come on the show. And I was like, convergence again.
Nice.
But the reason I found you is because I went and got a spray tan, and the woman's like, you know how they're always very chatty, you're getting your vagina sprayed, and she's like, well, what do you do? And I was like, I'm a comedian, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh my gosh, you have to meet one of my clients. And so I go to follow you, and actually you were already following us. I was like, oh my god, so sweet.
Yeah, of course.
And so now we're all, spray
And
tan crop
here
top
we
bitches
are.
together.
Yeah.
So Nacya, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
So I started doing stand-up when I was 21. I was in Norway and I was really depressed. I had like 2 jobs and I always wanted to be an actress, but I didn't had the means for it, So I was like, maybe I can start doing, because, okay, so first of all, even though I had 2 jobs, I was broke. And we
What
went
were
to
your jobs? What were you doing before?
I was a flight attendant, and then, and I did I wasn't flying much. I was making much money, and then I became a bartender too at the same time. And I went to this talent show with my friends, and they were like, "Hey, if you go on the stage and you just say one of your funny stories, we'll pay you drinks for the rest of the night." And I did, and I bombed, and I was like, I love this. I want to do this. Yeah, so then I started doing comedy, and I didn't know how to write a joke. I just go there and tell stories, and I would get some giggles. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I think I'm doing great, I guess. And then I moved to Abu Dhabi. I got a job as a flight attendant as well in Abu Dhabi. And I start performing there. And imagine if I had like New York in my schedule, I'll go to New York and do some gigs.
Oh, great.
But I would only do comedy maybe 4 times a month because I wouldn't always fly to places that would allow me to do comedy.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Paraguay and Kosovo, and there was no comedy there.
Oh.
So then I moved to the United States last year in March, and I was like, okay, I'm taking this shit really seriously now. So I got an agent just for the acting stuff, and I started doing comedy literally every day. Like I would go to every single open mic, even on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started getting booked, so it was great.
Oh, that's great.
So you've done all of this in like a year in the U.S. Is that?
Yes.
That's
Dang.
amazing.
And y'all,
March this
you
year.
just opened up for Whitney Cummings
Fuck
like
yes.
a week or 2 weeks ago.
That was a dream come true.
So is she one of your comedy heroes?
Yes, I love her. She's that gorgeous. She's like, she really supports the female comedians.
Yes.
She throws the rope back. Because I feel like many comedians, it's like, first of all, it's harder if you go on the road with a man because people are like, oh, maybe she sucked his dick. Like, that's why. Or, there's always like this type of excuses, but if you go with a female comic, nobody can talk shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless she's lesbian, then I guess.
Especially like Whitney fucking Cummings.
I know, but I'll be like, I'll suck your dick, Whitney. I don't
let's
care.
do it. Who's also just like such a champion of like even like women's media. I mean, like what she's accomplished is absolutely incredible.
She's amazing. She's like self-made. She's that gorgeous. And I don't know. I couldn't stop. I looked like a creep because I was just like staring at her. I was like, I'm trying not to stare at you, but it's very hard. Like, so I have this thing. I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing, but I don't like asking people for stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like if I did, maybe I would be in a better position. But I just feel so bad. I feel like it's an embarrassing thing to do for me. I just feel bad putting somebody in a position that they have to tell me yes. They feel like obligated to say yes. So I did a show with her at Creek in the Cave, which is a new comedy club in Austin. And I asked her, hey, can I introduce myself, and I said, can you tell me, how do you feel, like, how do you deal with the comedy politics, since comedy, it's a male dominant environment. And she gave me her advice. She was amazing. She basically said, you just gotta realize you working with kids, and just always do you, just work hard, and it doesn't matter what people say, just focus on what matters, which is comedy. And after the show, it was me, her assistant, and Joe Rogan, and we were just like in a circle talking. And she goes, hey, do you want to open for me in Phoenix? No, I'm lying, in Dallas. Do you want to open for me in Dallas? And I was like, I speak 4 languages. I couldn't speak a fucking word when she said this. I was just like, and Joe, he like I-5s. He's like, hey, and I'm like, oh my God, is this really happening? And my dumbass, what I did, my only reaction was, I had this long sleeve. I pulled my long sleeve back, and I'm like, look at my arm. And she's like, what is this? You have no hairs. But I meant to say, look, can you pinch me? Is this happening?
Look at my arm.
Yeah, I didn't know, and I just looked like a fucking idiot.
It's hairless.
Oh my God. She was like, it's hairless. What do you do? And I'm like, just pinch me. Just pinch me. Is this happening? And I was just, I can't believe Whitney Cummings invited me to go on the road with her. That was like insane.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like she is a champion for women being able to like have it all, like have a hot body, have your career, like, I'm sorry, I put hot body first, but I feel like it's come up for us like before we started recording about like can you show your body and still be taken seriously? Because I'm like, I like to show my body.
Yeah, I think there's this weird, I don't know how to say this without sounding pretentious, but so many people are like, oh my God, you don't look like a comedian. Like,
which is such bullshit.
It is. Like, why? There's so many male comics who are hot and they're funny, but when you're a woman, you get so sexualized. It's like, yeah, well, I work out and I eat healthy and I'm smart and I'm funny. Why cannot that go together? It's not like I'm the only person in the world doing that. There's so many other women who do that and they are successful.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's so weird navigating that, because like I look at like Chelsea Handler, who's like the perfect example of like hot, funny, like she's got the whole like shebang,
ski down the hill naked.
I love that.
I love that too.
Like, and for like, I think she's interesting because I feel like, and of course she probably had to like work on this for years and years, but I feel like people take her really seriously, even when she's skiing downhill naked. But I think it's a lot of that like navigating of like checking people nonstop of like, no bitch, like these are my rules, which is like, women shouldn't have to fucking do this.
No, because like Jack Black can go on his Instagram and do WAP and nobody says anything. Now granted, I feel like we worry about everything that we do. Like we did like a little music video and we were like, okay, like I have some butt cheek hanging out and it's fine, like I'm choosing to do that, but like you worry about what people are going to say. Can you still be taken seriously? Can you still, like, what if your agent sees it? You know what I mean? Like, but like Jack Black doesn't care at all. He doesn't have to care. Not that we're Jack Black, but you know what I mean.
Oh, Jack.
He did do a good WAP dance though. You guys.
Oh my God. Okay, so what got you into comedy, Rachel, outside of like your friends just daring you? Were you just like,
I don't know, like,
have you always been the funny friend?
I was always funny, but kind of in a dumb way, because I would say things and then I didn't understood why would they be funny, and then people would be laughing. I'm like, I didn't do that for you to laugh, But I always had a lot of stories, and I was always, because I have very bad anxiety. I don't know if you guys are like from this time, because I was raised in a very old school household, and basically, where was I going with this? I forgot.
Anxiety.
The anxiety. I didn't
How
know.
were you raised?
So like, for example, now kids is like, oh, I need a therapist, or like I have OCD, and back in the day I had all of those things and I didn't know. I mean, if I remember just writing and erasing and writing and erasing, that's like a OCD thing. Like everything had to be perfect. My books in school, I would have one in class and then another one that I would have at home, and I would make sure everything was perfect and looking beautiful with all these colors, right? Yeah. But I never thought that was an OCD thing, and my mom would like slap the shit out of me and be like, stop erasing. Like that's how it was. Like she would beat my ass. If I had like a panic attack, she would be like, you better fucking stop right now, and I didn't know what it was. Yeah. But I feel like these kids nowadays, they have like these kids once in a while a beautiful accent will come out very strong.
I love your accent.
Just don't use it in any porn websites, please. So I didn't understood that, and I was always very like full of energy and like telling all my stories, and people love that, and I didn't see why.
Yeah.
And I was very depressed. I was like having like suicidal thoughts and everything, because I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. Like I really wanted to be an actress, but I don't have the support of my family. I don't have money to do it on my own, and I just really want to be on stage. And I had always, because I always worked from a very young age, like in my summer vacations I would always go to work, and I would work in an aquatic park, I'll be a lifeguard or a babysitter, and I was like, I'm good on all these things, but I don't feel happy. And then I thought that going overseas I would find myself, and I just end up being like, I don't know what to do with myself, and I just feel unhappy, and I don't have many friends, and my boyfriend just broke up with me, and I don't know, I just felt like shit. And in Norway all girls are like fucking Barbies with blonde with blue eyes, and I felt like I wasn't in the beauty standards. I didn't felt beautiful.
Yeah.
I got Tinder. Nobody would message me.
Which, like, y'all, this is insane. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're gonna be like, what?
I swear to God. So I just felt so bad. And so when I started doing stand-up comedy, I was like, oh my God, even though I bombed, I was like, I love being on stage, and I hate when I go in a room and people stare at me. I just feel so weird. I'm like, do I have something in my face? Do I have a booger in my nose? Like, I just feel so like weird.
No, it's because you're beautiful.
Thank you, you're sweet.
That's true.
But the time that I'm on stage is the only time that I feel good. I'm like, it makes me so happy to see other people laughing with me. You know?
Yeah.
So you don't get anxiety on stage.
I get before.
Right
Okay.
before.
Yeah.
And then like when you get up there, does it just like dissipate?
Yeah. It goes slowly. Like sometimes I see myself, like I do a lot of like I'm telling my jokes and I'm like and I understand that's anxiety, so then I stop myself a little bit. But usually when I get on stage I put music on, and if I'm having like a panic attack I dance. Like there was a time that I twerked and everything, and I'm like, I didn't even know I could twerk, but you know,
Oh my God.
But she can.
but my booty can. But, yeah, it definitely helps.
What's it like doing stand up in an international country? Like, you started stand up in Norway, and you've done stand up like all over the world. Like, is it weird crafting jokes for like a different like international audience, or do you come in with the same thing and you just kind of like lightly tweak it?
It's very different, but mostly
There's a fly, and I don't.
Oh,
want
it
to,
is.
Like,
Thank
throw
you.
up
We
on
don't have
you.
time
You
for
know?
that.
No, we
I
don't.
hope I don't smell like shit. I mean, I took a shower today.
No,
It's
you
the
actually
table.
smell like cotton candy.
I love that. I love cotton candy. I love that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is different, but I think that mostly my comedy is about self-deprecation and like me telling about my parents and my family. And I think when people see me, they have so many distractions because it's my accent. I love doing my makeup. I love wearing tight clothes because I'm small. So if I wear baggy clothes, I just feel fat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm crazy.
You're
But,
not crazy. You gotta feel like you.
And you have your own style.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I like, when women embrace, well, anybody embrace
Yeah.
like your style. We've talked a lot about crop tops and like how I'm leaning into it. And like I got a bathing suit that my 7-year-old, I was like, do you guys like my bathing suit? And he's like, I mean, it looks like you're not wearing any clothes. I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
This is who
And mom
this
feels
is who
great.
I am.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I love that. You have to feel comfortable, and if that's how you feel comfortable, that's what matters.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah,
people staring at you and like, sorry, I interrupted
Yeah.
you.
No.
Yeah. That's what it makes you feel uncomfortable. If somebody's like,
it makes me feel uncomfortable because I was raised in a way that my mom was very critical of me. So that's a loud.
Yeah.
that was a loud plane.
Y'all, we are recording outside. Please don't give us a 2-star review because of the planes. We had someone review us poorly for bird sounds.
The bird lady's gonna come back and
But
she's
y'all-
gonna be like, I really wanted to listen to this, and
she's
then
back. But y'all, we're recording outside at Sahara Lounge, which we'll plug them at the end. They're
Yeah.
friends of the podcast. But
yeah,
okay, plane is gone.
plane is
Yeah.
done.
Where was I? I think I was raised in a very strict household, like I said. So my mom, like, she was not very good at giving compliments, but she was very good like criticizing you, which messed up with me a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I know better now, but for example, yesterday I met Ron White, and he's such a fucking charming older man. I was like, oh my God, you kind of like James Bond type of thing. Like, he is so charming, and like I don't know. And he smells like sandalwood. I don't know.
Oh my God. I want to watch
Yeah.
the James
Oh.
Bond
And
franchise with Ron.
Dude, and he's so funny. He's just so, he has this like this whiskey voice. I don't know. He's amazing. And I was telling him how I moved to the US, and he was like, oh, your husband is a lucky man. And I'm like, why? And he's like, you're a gorgeous woman. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, I will have this moment forever. I'm so happy. Every
did
time
it.
I was like, every time I feel insecure, I'm gonna think about you. I'm gonna think about this right here, and no matter what happens the next 24 hours, I'm not gonna feel insecure. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Yeah.
God,
beautiful
But yeah, I felt so
sandalwood
good about
god.
that. I know, he's super sexy. I saw his girlfriend too. She's a very beautiful woman too, and she's like in her 60s. That's what he said. I didn't assume that, but she's very beautiful as well.
I love like hearing that when like a man actually acts his age and like
Yeah.
doesn't have like a child bride.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say and date someone and, like in a reasonable age range. Nacya, do you ever get nervous about your family listening? I'm asking
they
that
don't
because I
speak
do.
English.
Perfect.
I love it. I've
Perfect.
seen my mom videos, and it's like me making fun of her, and she's like, "Oh, people were laughing so much. That's so cool." Like they don't understand stand-up comedy.
She doesn't even have somebody like translate it for her.
No,
She doesn't care.
She doesn't
Okay,
understand.
good,
So I
good,
even
good.
have this joke about her. Like this is the thing. She doesn't understand that she's abusive. You don't understand? She
Yeah.
doesn't understand that. So I have this joke that she used to call me in Portuguese porquinha merda, and that literally translated doesn't make much sense, but literally translated means shitty little piggy.
What?
Yeah. And she used to be like, who's my shitty little piggy? Hey. But since I was a child, she used to be like, hey, who's my shitty little piggy? And I would go, I am, mommy, I'm your shitty little piggy. And, you know, like, no wonder I always dated abusive men, because they would tell me shit like, you're a bitch. And I'll be like, oh my God, he really loves me. Like, he's
Yeah.
going to propose to me soon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Things are really working out.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck.
Yeah. Crazy. But yeah. I think, like, I was so mad at my parents for so long, because they were, like, they would just make me feel like I had no space to breathe. They would be like over critical and very aggressive, and now I just look back and I'm like, look, if I was 40 years old, I was about to get retirement, and I worked like a slave my whole life, then I think I have the menopause, I find out I'm pregnant, I probably would be pissed too, you know.
Yeah.
So I try to think about that. Even when somebody is mean to me, I'm like, poor thing, they don't know better. You know?
Yeah, like what happened to them? Like
Yeah.
I think that more and more of like you told me something where you were like, if someone can't be happy for you, that's a reflection of what they're missing. And I
Yeah.
think about that a lot
Yeah.
now.
I think that shows, like, for both of you, like how healed you are in yourself to be able to look at another person who's done you wrong and be
Yeah.
like, they're human, and like I can see like their human experience and where that came from, and it also meant nothing about me.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's-
it didn't have
that's
anything to
hard.
do with you. Yeah,
To get
Yeah.
to that conclusion.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
my
it's
God.
also like the beautiful part where you can like let somebody go and make their own mistakes and be their own person and be like, choose to have them in your life or not, because it doesn't really have anything to do with you. That's their
Absolutely.
journey,
Yeah.
their path.
I feel like there's a lot of people who are like emotional, and then they are very impulsive,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I just think like that's a sign of not much intelligence. I read this book that was on Oprah list maybe I'm saying it wrong, because I never know how to say this word. Some unattended, something like that. Soul. I'll get back to you on that. But basically,
Wait,
it says,
Eckhart Tolle? Was it Eckhart Tolle?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and basically it says that.
Wait, no. The Untethered Soul. That
Yes.
was with the horse on the front.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that Eckhart Tolle?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe
Or
so.
someone like him.
Yeah.
This bitch knows every self-help book.
Oh my
every like, I
goodness.
got
What
you.
is
I
Yeah.
got you.
That is very
It's
impressive.
good.
My husband was like, do you think maybe you want to read a not self-help book?
Like, no.
That's funny.
I
I
have no
tried.
But like it says that, you know, how you feel about something is like a human reaction to an action. It doesn't mean you have to like act on it. You can just like take a deep breath and
Take
then
it
come
in.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true, though.
I remember when I was 21, when I told you I was in Norway and my boyfriend broke up with me, I was so heartbroken. And his thing was like, I just don't want to be in a relationship anymore. And I'm like, is there somebody else? And he's like, no, I just don't want to be in a relationship anymore. And for me, it's like, okay, I want to fuck other women, you know? But I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go to CrossFit right now and we can talk about this later. And then he's like, okay. And I left and I was like, I was like crying like a baby. I was like, I can't. And then the CrossFit guys found out I was single, and they were all hitting on me.
They're like, oh.
So I was like, yep, this is all I can get if I break up with this guy, because it's clearly me breaking up. So
Yeah. Obviously, it was you that did the breakup.
but yeah, but he's my husband now.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah, he totally regretted you guys. Clearly.
Obviously.
Wait, so did he come back like years later? It was like, baby, no, come back.
No, like so. He doesn't admit it, but I wasn't born yesterday, so pretty sure he went and had to do his thing. Went and try out whatever woman he had to.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was clearly better because he chose me. Okay.
The
Yeah.
the
No, I'm
number one
joking.
choice.
No hate. We don't do that here. But yes.
That's
yeah.
an incredible story. I did not see that coming.
We came together again like maybe 3 weeks after that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And y'all were together ever since.
yes.
Oh my God. It all worked out.
Yeah.
Oh, great
I didn't
job.
have my whole face, which of course I always hold it against him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wait, do you still do CrossFit?
Yes.
You do. That's your drug of choice.
Yeah, it is. It's like therapy to me. I don't
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
hard, and I don't work out every day. I work out maybe like twice or 3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
But it just helps me feel better, and it truly like I wasn't even able to lift the freaking barbell, and now I can lift my weight.
Damn.
Hey.
So I'm
Hey.
happy
That's
about that.
amazing.
She's strong. She's strong.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with her.
Exactly.
Have you been to F45? I always talk about F45 on here. I love
What
it
is that?
so
I don't
much.
know.
It's a 45-minute workout, and I feel like they do some of the things that CrossFit does,
Okay.
but it's like always different.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love it so much. I'm trying to get Ashley to go.
No.
And they like really encourage you to push yourself, which like I need. If they see it's too easy for you, they'll just come and like hand you a little bit heavier weight.
Oh, that's nice.
Put it on there. Be like, let's go, bitch.
Yeah.
They pay attention to you. That's
They
good.
pay attention to you. They know your name. I really
Oh.
like that for some
Yeah.
reason. Like today, someone was like, "Bye, Mandy." I was like, "How do you even know?"
Oh.
That's really nice.
That's great. That's
That
a
definitely
really
makes
nice
a
touch.
difference.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's a beautiful touch.
Wait, I was gonna tell you this in the intro, but I feel like it kind of relates to what we've been
Oh.
talking about. But I've told Ashley this story already. But okay, so my son, he just turned. Well,
You
he's
a
turning.
mother?
Yeah, I
You
have
look
3
amazing.
She's
God,
got
thank
3 of
you.
them. Yes.
Okay. Well, I hope I look like you after I have 3 kids because you look awesome.
You're so sweet. Thank you. I have a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old. But
Oh, wow.
my 7-year-old, he at school he told his teacher that he's like, my mom is a comedian, and she was like, that's not true, Sterling. And he goes, you can look her up. And so she
That's nice.
did. I know, but like, isn't that so interesting that she just assumed that he was lying? I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
why
not
would,
nice.
why would he lie?
I fucking
about
love that he stood his ground of like, all right, Google it.
Yeah. But did you talk with her?
No.
You should.
Well, she apologized. She was like, Sterling, you're right. That's really like it was
Okay,
really
okay.
impressive. Like
That's
so,
different.
like
In some ways, I get it though. I mean, that's bullshit. Like what happened,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
kids lie a lot.
Yeah.
Like especially like
Yeah.
at his age, so I
But
can
he
maybe
doesn't.
see. He
and
doesn't. Though. You're right.
She
You're
used
right.
him as an example all year, like for the kids that didn't listen. I know, but I don't really want him to have to be like the example anymore. I want him to be able to be
Yeah.
like free from that. Like,
to be able to be his own person.
yeah,
and-
exactly.
Yeah.
And so like I know she knows he's not like a kid that like makes up stories and stuff. And so just
So
like
fuck
to
her.
assume. And I feel like everything for me right now is a little feminist because I'm
Yeah.
like, you can be a mother, you can be all of these things. Ashley knows. I talk her ear off
Yeah.
about it, but I'm like, why can't women be all of that?
I have to tell you
Tell
guys
me.
about this female comedian that she's a freaking superwoman. She's superwoman. Maybe I'm always saying her name wrong. She already did 2 of my shows. Her name is Jennifer Fufiler.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. She's like become like a rising star on TikTok.
Yes.
She had a hilarious thing about, funny enough, planes of like a flight attendant book where like she
Yeah.
breaks down. Yeah, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No. She's amazing. She has 7 kids or 6 if I'm not mistaken. She's like a businesswoman. She's a comedian. She's a housewife. She's like, and she's always flawless. She's so beautiful and so charming and so kind. Like once in a while, I feel kind of lesbian because I send her messages just saying like, just want to tell you that you're a superwoman to me and you inspire me so much and thank you, for being who you are. And she's like, oh my God, thank you. And she's like so nice back. She's touring now in Tampa, by the way. Let me see. She's going to be in Tampa June 5th.
Oh, so
Yeah.
check it out if you're listening
Yeah.
from Tampa or you're going to be in the area.
I knew this was going to be a good situation, but like, oh my God, you support women too. Like, you're the
course.
total package. I feel like having, other like female friends that can like get behind you and like, that's beautiful. And it's so beautiful you told her.
Especially in comedy. Jesus Christ.
If somebody inspires you, I feel like you should tell them because,
Yeah.
you never know how somebody's feeling.
know.
Like you were saying, when you're going through like your depression and stuff and you hear one nice thing, somebody gives you some encouragement. It does make you feel
It does.
better.
Yeah, it
can
does.
turn around. I have a question about Austin comedy scene. It's been changing a lot. A lot of people
Yeah.
are talking about it. Where do you think it's going, Nacya? You've seen it kind of on the up and up.
I think it's gonna go crazy because there's like Joe's gonna open his club.
Nacya is like
and-
best friends with Joe Rogan.
Oh, I
We'll
wish.
get back to that.
I wish I was. No, I talk with him when I see him at the creek, and that's it. Like I feel I don't want to be that comedian who's like, hi, how are you? I try not to do that. I mostly just see him and I bring him some whiskey and that's it. Like I try to talk a little bit with him after he has a glass of whiskey. But he's a very easy person to talk to. He's very kind. He did my show, The Riff. He was amazing. And I was like, I wanted to hug him and kiss him, but I know I can't do that. I wanted to, okay? But he's just awesome. I only have good things to say about him. Where were we? Yeah, so he's gonna open his club. There's Creek in the Cave. I feel like Creek in the Cave is the only place that only does comedies, like the real comedy club. And then Joe's gonna open his. We don't know when yet. And then there's Vulcan, who's like a place for music, but they do comedy there too.
Yeah, it's a mix.
Then they have like Sunset Strip as well. But there's a lot of like big people here.
What's Sunset Strip? You're not talking about Los Angeles. That's what. No.
Yeah, it's like people. It's mostly like somebody from LA who I think I know who he is, but I don't think he wants people to know. But basically, he's here and he's like booking comics from LA and from all over the place, and even some local ones too. Haven't booked me yet though.
Yeah, it's
but,
time.
Not
Book
yet.
Nacya.
It's time. It's
We need some
time.
diversity. By
Yeah.
diversity, I mean me.
It's time.
But I think there's a lot of big comics moving here. There's like Tom Segura, he got a house here from what I heard. Of course, Joe Rogan. Ron White is from
Yeah.
here.
It
There's-
feels like a big change, like
Yeah.
coming more so than like even like pre-COVID. I felt like the comedy scene was alive and everything,
Yeah.
but we have more clubs, more opportunities,
Yeah.
and it does seem like there's more like stand-up only
Yeah.
focused as opposed to like Cold Town Fallout, which are great, but it's improv and stand-up,
Yeah.
so it's like a little bit of mix of both, where
Yeah.
you'll just have like one-off nights.
But wait, I did see you have been doing like this wheel that you spin it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
that's
tell us
my
about the
show.
riff.
Yeah. So basically, like, there's so many showcases, and I always been a fan of Comedy Without a Net, which is basically like they have a screen and then they put like random subjects there, and then the comedians have to riff on it. And I wanted to do something like that because first of all, when you do your set over and over again, of course you're not going to do it like these pro comedians. They have maybe like 7 different sets that they do. They have like 1 hour, and they go and do different like 20 minutes here and there, and they always can do different stuff. But for other comics, that's not possible yet. It's so difficult to come out with material, right? So I felt like this show would give the comedians opportunity to create new material.
Yeah.
Knock some cobwebs loose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like the crowd gets really like into it because they're like, oh my God, is suggestion gonna come out? And
Oh,
then
yeah, they come off audience suggestions. We need
Yeah.
to see because I saw it on your Instagram and I was
Yeah.
like, she's
So
doing
it's a
improvised
wheel.
stand
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, this is how it is. We get suggestions from the crowd. We give everybody like papers and pens. Then we collect it. We put it in this little bucket, and then we put it on the wheel.
Oh my
And then the comedian
gosh.
comes over, rotates the wheel, and has to riff with the subject that
Oh
it
my
lands on.
God.
Yeah.
Do you find most people excel, or do you feel like some people are like flat? Which like it's totally okay to bomb. Like
Yeah.
it's totally okay, but
I think like it's very scary to riff in public because you're like, oh, maybe I'm not going to be good enough. Like me, my case, I'm not good in creating a storyline for a suggestion. I mostly do like one-liners.
yeah.
But also
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's my show, like and I'm hosting, I don't want to be taking a lot of time, so I'm like, okay, I'm hosting, this is what I have to do. I'll
go
just give an
first?
example. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I go first. So I bite the bullet. But yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, and mostly, having anxiety and OCD, I'm like, I have this shit, but this shit doesn't have me, so I want to be able to control it, and this is my biggest nightmare.
Yeah.
You know, and I just want to be like, if I bomb, that's fine. And that's also a way that I've found to control myself, because I'm always self-doubting my English. Because I notice many times I speak and I say one word here or there wrong. And then I know my accent also doesn't help. And I want to be able to be like, yeah, I got all these flaws, but I'm still going to do this shit, you know?
Yeah. It's the ultimate, like, letting go of the wheel and being like, let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
And that's an exciting thing. Like, I was always blown away by, like, Todd Barry did a whole tour where he did nothing but improvise his jokes. He wrote nothing, where he would, like, talk to like someone in the audience, and then it would just go, like, from there. And, like, that always, like, it was an hour of it. And, like, it blew my mind that you could just, like, be that free.
Yeah.
That makes me want to try to do a little improv with you. Would
Of
you
course.
be open to,
Of course.
to doing convergence with us?
Wait, right
course.
now?
Yeah.
Do you know what
Let's
we can do?
it.
Do you know what you can do as well? I was thinking of starting this show. I think it would be really cool to do like the Riff Improv Stand-Up Drunk Edition.
Yes.
You know, and we have some whiskey and we rotate the wheel and we riff on it.
I love that.
That's a great one, too.
Oh
It's
my
kind of like
God.
drunk history, but, like, drunk jokes.
Yes, that's how I got my idea. Was from that, because I love drunk history.
We do too.
I love it.
Love it so much.
We dressed up as Marie Antoinette's one time and tried to talk about the War of 1812. We got drunk on White Claws.
Oh my
and
God, I love that.
I still don't know.
We still don't know what
the War of 1812 is about.
But
If-
we made it up.
If anyone can message me.
That's awesome. That's so fun. So I got the first word that I got was defend Andrew Jackson.
Oh my God.
Now I'm gonna confess something that now it's gonna be like, okay, she's not funny, but I truly did not know who he was.
But also, like, you're from Portugal.
Yeah,
Like,
and
I
I-
mean,
and I
like,
was-
that's.
I didn't know. Yeah. So that when that came out, I was like, who the fuck is Andrew Jackson? And they all start laughing, and I was like, I did that on purpose. I just hope that doesn't come out in my citizenship test. That's what I hope.
Okay, I'll keep
That
my
was
fingers
so
crossed.
good. Like you played that like a pro. Well done.
Oh my
You're like,
God.
he's on the $20 bill, but who the fuck
Who
knows?
the fuck knows? Yeah. That was funny.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Just make it up.
Any final words, Nacya? Do you have any shows coming up? Because we're gonna post this on Monday. So what do we got on the horizon?
So, the Riff Improv Stand-Up, my show is every 2 weeks at the Creek in the Cave.
Okay.
The next one is June 10th, and then the other one will be on the 23rd.
Okay, great. Yeah, and y'all go check it out.
Yeah, you guys have to come and check it out. It's so much fun, especially because the crowd gets to be involved, like I said before, so that's different. And I'm going to be shooting a movie in New York in July. That's supposed to come out in January next year. It's something small, but it will be fun. I'm basically the victim of a vampire. It's a scary movie.
Oh my god!
I'm very
Nacya!
excited. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
she's been training, so just like ward off the vampires
Exactly.
and slice and dice. Well, where can we follow you for all the laughs?
So you can follow me on Instagram. I'm currently working on making like more funny videos, which I'm awful at because I just feel so weird filming myself. I don't know, guys. I got problems, okay? So my Instagram is Nacya Marreiro, and that is Nacya, then my last name, which is Marreiro.
Perfect. Give
Yeah.
her a follow and
Thank
see
you.
her at Creek and Cave. Shout out to Colton, our little sexy, slutty secretary from Improv Days. And a big special thanks to Sahara Lounge for hosting us. We love you, Topaz. Come check out Ladies Night, which is every third Friday. They have all sorts of fun theme nights. Come check them out. They are open and thriving. And thank you for listening to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nacya.
Thank you for having
so
me.
much.